Up next, we have BotTherapist from Bangkok, Thailand, King Mongkut's University of Technology, Thonburi, KMUTT.
So, ladies and gentlemen, today I would like to ask you to imagine that one day one of your loved ones suddenly can no longer communicate with you. Let's say that they get hurt or in pain. They can't ask for your help even though you right by their side, able to easily help, but you oblivious to their pain. Help me, please. They want to say that, but they could not. This is a struggle too many autistic patients and their loved ones have to go through every day. In 2010, in US, 1 in 6 children has autism. And still, based on our today knowledge, no one knows the cause and let alone the cure. The current approach is to provide the therapy to support their abilities. But the problem is the numbers of the specialists is not nearly enough to cope the increasing numbers of the autistic patients. Our team felt motivated to make change. With hope supporting these children, we developed a robot named Breeze. He was designed to develop social interaction skills and stimulate learning for these children. He will act like a mediator between the child and the other during the therapeutic activities or games. And also, here is a demonstration that we will show you how it works. With cute and friendly facial features, Breeze become more approachable to engage in the activities even more easier. And he can also change his face to mimic emotion, thus serving the introduction in social interaction for young children. Normally, he has two views in movement, like this, and also he can express like facial expression. As you can see that he has two eyes with the eyebrow that can be moved, so he can express a lot of emotion. And our our robot will work like a platform that you can put the software like a game that support therapeutic activities. Like for example, the one that we have is the picture matching games that the picture will randomly show on the eyes of the robot in the category of food, animals, or the stuff that they can use in the daily life. And when the picture show on the eyes of the robot, like this one is show ant, and if they pick up the card that have the picture of the ant and matching it correctly, like this, the robot will say, awesome, good job. Yeah, and even I pick up the wrong card, like this. Oh, it's correct one, sorry. It's like this one. The robot will say, try again, or incorrect answer. So it's time to cheer up the child to continue to play with it. And this one is a function that we have. And we brought Breeze to play with the children under the supervision of pediatrician at Lama Tipadi Hospital. And both of us and pediatrician were anxious about the coming result. On that day, when the first child came into the room, his eyes almost set on Breeze. Even some children might hesitate at first, but with Breeze, light, sounds, and movement, most of them eventually came to play with it. And on that day, also, we observed three extraordinary things. The first one is there was two child who really enjoyed play with Breeze so much that he began to talking with it like if it were their friends. And the second one is there was one child who developed a strategy to play in the picture matching game better by separating the card that already came from the rest. And the last one is there was another child who spent much longer time to understand the picture matching games than the others because he was not familiar with pictures like the others. And also here is a pediatrician testimonial that our visit were observed by the medical doctor who judged a brief success. There is a limited number of robots that support in therapeutic activities, and here is our team that with the multidisciplinary include the researchers, graduate and undergraduate students for biological engineering, robotics, computer engineering, and industrial design. We design and develop a robot with the cooperation with the specialists from Matipati Hospital and Rachanugun Institute. As I said that there is a limited number of robots that support in the autism therapy. So here is the competitor. There is not much a really competitor up here, but there is one called ASK now that is 10 times more expensive with the software package that try to do a little bit of things that what we are doing now. And we are 1/10 of the price that specially designed for the autism. And with this function, will help build not just a toy, and he will become one of the members of the families. And people will just going to start to get up and buy it. There might not yet be a complete solution for robot-assisted therapy. So our team felt that the continuous improvement is needed. So in BRICS version 2, that we are developing the software to detect the child interaction, so we can adapt the therapeutic activities to suit individual children's needs. And also we will add the telemonitoring features so specialists can track the patient progress through our robot at home. And the next one is our customer target includes the first one is the parent of the autistic patient, and the second one is the healthcare provider. We plan to revise the robot by this October, and we will start the low volume production so that the clinical use can begin on this summer. And when they experience the usefulness of our product, they can recommend it to other people to know that they can use the robot to use at home by themselves. And also the estimated numbers of autistic patients in Thailand is about 320,000, and the numbers of the healthcare provider is about 900. If we get 0.1% of the market share in the first year with the cost of $1,500, our revenue will be about 550,000, and with the cost of goods sold is about 240,000. We can break it in the second year. And this is our financial document. Robotics can address in the clinical need for the autism that now is frequently increasing to rise. And our team just got the Gold Award and Economic Award from the 10th International Convention Rehabilitation in Engineering and Assistive Technology. This shows that our team has potential in technology development and design. And with the cooperation of our partner and your investment, together we can improve the quality of life for the autistic patient and our lovely society. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very, very good presentation. Could you go back to the financial slide and walk us through it a little bit?
Okay, this one?
Yeah, that one, please. Because you've spent like 3 seconds on it, so I'm just trying to understand.
Do you want me to explain more on this?
Yes.
Okay. As you can see, in the first year, 2016, we begin to we try to develop more, and they have a price that we have to spend on here. And the second year, we start to selling it. So we got the income, and we got the price that we have to spend. And 240,000 that I try to explain is a cost of goods sold. So the money that we want to others to invest us is about 360,000 for that we have to spend on the personal things, server costs, office, or marketing promotion, like that. Yep.
Is your initial market the clinic? And then across your timeline there, when would you move into being able to sell to the home market,
Uh,
and how would you do that?
okay. Normally we plan to first in the first version we will try to sell it to the healthcare provider or let the specialist use our product, and then when they will let the autistic patient under their care to try the product, and the specialist can help us to be like a channel to sell the product to. Yep.
Are there any plans to take it outside of the autism market and into just early childhood development?
Can you repeat that? Yeah.
Do you have any plans to market this outside of specifically for autism and into just a general early childhood education home market?
Okay. We try to focus on the autistic children first, but this robot normally other children can use this too. So yeah.
It seems like a somewhat complicated design. How did you come up with this, and how do you think that this is like the optimum for use with autistic children?
Okay. So because it's like the children with autism is they have a problem in social interaction, communication with others, and other normal children, when they learn something from their parents, they learn from their faces, like how they speak or how they're reacting. But autism children, they not look at the parent eyes or what they're doing. They just stay by themselves, not talking to anyone that much. And we try to design it to have facial expression, so they can like nobody see the face, and they can look at their parent more easier, more comfortable. Yeah.
So I guess it was a couple of years ago we had a group that developed something a lot simpler, and it was also a lot less expensive. I mean, the $1,500. I mean, who are you looking to actually pay? I mean, the families with an autistic child probably could not afford $1,500. Is this more for like? Well, who else?
In $1,500, is because our prototype is spends a lot of money. But if we start in the mass production, it will be less price than this. And this one is not the one that we're going to sell, but we're going to sell the second version of it, that we will use other material that will be more less price. Yeah.
Okay.
So autistic children have problems with social interaction and engagement,
Yeah.
but they also become very fixated on a look or an image or a sound and become comfortable with that. Does this have the ability to sort of grow? In other words, can a parent have the ability, or a therapist have the ability to set the setting to a next level to continue to challenge the autistic
Yeah.
student?
Like our example game is a picture matching game. You can set it more advanced. Like normally you just matching like this, like, and you can just like when you pick up the card and the robot will say the word, so the children can learn the word of the card too. And maybe the next level will be like the robot will say the word, and the children will try to find the card that are that word. You can normally the customer can set up the game like what the category that they want, or they can mix up the category. Yep.
Okay, here's some questions from the audience. have you tested it on a reasonable number of kids with autism and recorded the results? And you can tell some examples on how much time it took, to help them.
We have first experiment that do at the hospital that we told. This one is a observe experiment that to see that, okay, how was the react of the children with the robot, but we still in the process on this August that we going to go to the institute that have a lot of autism children, and we will try to be like clinical try out more to record that how the different of the
So
children.
how many children were at that hospital
Uh,
that you tested it on?
about 10 because
10.
we
Yeah, I think you're going to need to really expand that,
Yes.
to get much better, much more detailed results. So does this allow the kid to learn to react without fear? Is it a toy, or is it just a toy that lights up? In other words, does it allow the kid to learn to react without fear? In other words, can they learn? I mean, I guess autistic children get very afraid of things. Can you describe that? How that will mitigate
I'm
the fear?
not really understand the question because it's the last answer. Yes, they really enjoy to play with it.
Are you focusing mostly on the Asian market at first, and do you see this as how do you see expanding other cultures and markets?
We begin with in Thailand, and we will expand on the AEC, the Asian Economic Community, and after that we will expand other countries around the world because the autistic children is increasing every place.
Okay, yeah. All right, yeah. Okay. Do you think it isolates the children more from the real life, or does it how does it try to integrate them into real life?
Okay. It's like, as I say that normally they're not looking at the normal people eyes, and this one is just introduce for them about emotion and how to express, and it helps them to have a confidence to look at others' eyes more. Yep.
So that's the goal, is to try to get them comfortable looking at eyes and then move them to looking at people.
Yes, that's one of the ideas that we decided a robot like this too.
I see. Okay. All right, very good. Thank you.